I guess I could do a little bit of live streaming now. That's not even where I wanted to go. Here we go.
Specifically one with a huge more attack, perhaps? Paimon's just being enthusiastic.
It's always actually.
Don't worry about that. We were...
To put it simply, the requester is looking for a temporary replacement actress for their musical. But the troupe has also been experiencing some financial difficulties. That's right. There are only a few days left.
Got it. Oh, this one's a doozy. What do you... Even if we took the commission, neither of us...
If you're interested in helping, why not start by having a chat? Maybe you can't fill the role yourselves, but you might...
Oh, it's that guy, huh? Hello there! Are you the guy looking for a new actress?
Wait, I know you two! Are you really willing to act in my musical?
Wow, sounds like we're pretty famous and fun. But to answer your question...
Ah, I see. It's okay. If we can't find someone to step in, we'll have no choice but to... That's the... All our sets and if we had a way to make this
Disband? You're splitting up the...
Oh, I guess the lady at the Adventurers Guild didn't tell you? Yeah, one last show. And after... Nobody wants things to just... Yeah, the show just won't be...
Got it. We have a clip... What if we...
Please, there's no need to go that far. I wouldn't feel right asking such a huge favor. And I can't promise that we'd ever be able to pay you back.
Good point. We should find someone who will put on the best performance possible. Oh, wait! What a... She's really good at performing and she...
Who are you thinking of? Sounds like someone famous. Her!
Nope. Paimon doesn't actually know if she's performed on stage before.
You're not wrong there. She has actually performed in a number of big-name shows before. But even if she's not, she's still an idol to many people in Fontaine, including myself. Well, yes. Fair enough. I'm sure everyone... Of course.
No point in stressing about... Besides, they
Thank you for your help.
Wait, where does Farina actually live nowadays? She used to live in luxury at the Palais Mermonia, but she's
As it happens, I have her current address here. I can provide it to you.
Woo!
It is my duty to support commissioners and...
Thank you, ma'am.
Woo! Now that we've got the address... Did Catherine really give us the right address? Not that there's anything wrong with this.
You know, it's common courtesy to make sure the homeowner isn't an earshot when you're denigrating their abode.
Okay, where did Poppy go to this?
I was just out on a shopping trip. I ran out of macaroni, so I went to grab a few more bags. I used to have a much wider range of choices when it came to food, but now I'm finding that simple, traditional home cooking can be quite delicious too. Not at all. As long as you have different kinds of sauces in, you can have macaroni and tomato sauce one week, macaroni and bolognese the next.
Oh, sounds like you're really struggling to cope.
How rude! Questioning my cooking skills. It's not like I have a very eventful life these days. Actually, I barely leave the house. So I don't see how it's unusual that my meals are a little simpler now too. Besides, I'm sure I could master dishes like la lettre focilor or blubber profiteroles in no time.
Ah, there it is. You don't know how to cook.
Not yet, maybe, but... Anyway, let me first be clear that I'm not taking guests at this time. So if you're just here to clown around, then please be on your way.
Sorry! We're sorry! Please? Yeah, exactly! What the trip? Hang on a sec, you weren't exactly holding back either.
My help? Well, maybe you're forgetting that I'm no longer...
Don't worry, it's nothing that serious.
Oh? Well, if that's the case, then fine. I'll spare you the lecture about your attitude just now. So tell me, what specifically makes this matter so... I see. After all, I bet, given the present circumstances...
How come? It sounds like this would be a breeze for you.
True. But I have made a decision to retire from... Although I am no longer required to play the role of the Hydro Archon, the time I spent inhabiting that character has left an indelible mark on me. Centuries of pretending to be a different person changes you completely. Of course, that can't be undone now. It's too late, and I have no intention of reinventing myself all over again. But at least I can say that I no longer desire to play any new roles.
Paimon can understand, but this is just a one-off part to fill in for someone who's...
Whether it's a one-off or not, it's a boundary that I've committed to no longer cross. If I make an exception to the rule now, I'm just leaving a back door for myself. Which would be the same as not having a boundary, so I'm not going to perform. And that is that.
Okay, guess there's no convincing you. Well, is there anything else we can do to help out the Do you know any other actors who might be interested in the role?
Nope.
Short and to
Sorry.
the point. Okay.
I've never been great at maintaining relationships, since I'm just an ordinary person now. They'll probably just laugh in my face if I go asking them for help. True, but...
Well...
Have I not made myself clear? You're barking up the wrong tree. Sorry. I didn't mean for that to sound so harsh. I wish I could help, really. But if I thought I had the answer to this problem...
It's all right, Farina. Paimon just wanted to make sure we tried everything. Oh, everyone in the troupe will be so disappointed. Yeah, Guess that's all we can do now. Alright then, we'll see you around.
Toodaloo to you too. I'm...
It's too bad, but we have to respect Farina's decision. Maybe the thought of performing brings up too many painful memories. Huh? What's going on? Are they arguing?
That's besides the point. I'll ask you again. Why did you start looking for a replacement without my consent?
You didn't need to say it. We've no...
And that gives you the right to make...
Shortly after you left, the troupe's lead actress came to the Adventurers Guild. She believes that she's healthy. Excuse me, but can you both take a moment to discuss...
Sorry. I was just dealing with a little
Sadly, it's a no from her.
I see. Well, circumstances have changed a little, so maybe that's not such bad news. You see, our leading lady has just informed me that she's well enough to make it to the show after all.
Oh, right! Sounds like everything worked itself out. Yeah, she'd be livid. We'd get...
Jeez, is Lady Farina really so harsh with...
Only joking, calm down. Despite the fact that we failed to complete the...
Look, there's no point. This is the last chance we have, though. So, are you...
Yes, I'm completely... I share everyone's desire to commemorate all... Every one of us thinks of this troupe as their home.
You're right. I'm sorry.
All's well that ends well. Sounds like the show will go on. Sure.
Hey, how did you... I was just passing by because I realized I've... Alright, I'm fine. No need to drag me.
Farina? Didn't you say you were...
I was just... When you came to talk with me earlier, I jumped right to explaining my position and said some strongly worded things. And all before I even had a full grasp of the situation. Anyway, I just feel a bit bad about it. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's totally fine. Paimon didn't take it.
You really have a knack for asking the most uncomfortable questions, don't you? I felt very sheepish, having had a change of heart after flatly refusing you. And then, to make matters worse, you caught me. But in any case, it sounds like the issue has already been...
Yeah. When they said they were gonna ask for your help, I almost had a heart attack. I mean, how could we be worthy of having Lady Farina star in...
There's no need to think like that. And no need to keep addressing me as lady. Just Farina is... I was wondering, if this troupe is so important to all of you, why does it have to disband? If the difficulties are purely financial, then there must be a solution. You could put the shows on pause while you look for a sponsor, for instance. Everyone seems so devoted to the troupe. I'm sure if you keep chipping away, you'll find a way through.
We all want to believe that, but... Everything's been going downhill ever since we lost our director. She was the heart and soul of our troupe.
Her name was O'Reilly, and she was the founder as well as the artistic director of our troupe. And tragically, she was a victim in the serial disappearances case.
What?
That's actually how I recognized these two. It was all thanks to their efforts that the true culprit was brought to justice. But still...
She was a loyal fan of your performances, Miss Farina. They were what first inspired her to get into musical theater. She rallied many people around her who were destitute or had lost their sense of purpose in life, and convinced them that people loved our performances back then. We seemed to be going from strength to strength.
And then disaster struck.
Yeah. After that, none of us know anything about script writing, let alone how to handle the business side of things. It's agonizing. But ultimately...
Oh.
What a terrible waste. A gifted artist from humble beginnings, who achieved so much and no doubt had much more to give. And then her life was so cruelly taken. I suppose it's fair to say then that this final
Yes, exactly. We all miss her
Well, good thing I followed the Traveler here. After...
Farina?
I know what you're thinking, but I can, however, provide some art, but only if you feel this is something.
Oh, most definitely.
We unfortunately don't have any budget for a consultant, though. Will that be a
I don't need any compensation. All I'd ask in return, if you're willing, is that you tell me some more. Something I've begun to realize since the law only judges criminal behavior, and what about all the unresolved emotions of the parties involved? An interesting answer. But if you ask me, take, par exemple, how this true...
Still a fan of your old dramatic monologues then, huh? You just want to get back in on the action, don't you?
No. This is a completely different situation.
The name's not Swine, it's Paimon!
Would you be willing to join me? Come on, take a break from adventuring to listen to a story.
Thank you all so much. Our director was a huge fan of Miss Farina's performances, as of course we all are. All right, follow me. We'll go to our usual practice space.
Lady Farina?
What's Lady Farina doing here?
Hello, all. Allow me to explain. These two over here are the ones that made it possible. They kindly reached out to... You bet! That was the trial of the century!
You helped bring our director's murderer to justice. We can't thank you enough.
Oh, please don't mention it. We're just here to join in on the fun.
So, you were saying, the Little Oceanid?
Yeah, that's the name of our final show. It's an unfinished script left behind by our director. One of our greatest regrets is that she never got to complete it. So, if we can bring it to the stage and make it a successful show, we can all take some solace in that.
Wait, but if it's not finished, then...
Yeah, we've been battling issues on every front, trying to realize this dream. Anyway, let me give you the protagonist of the story is a young She longed to live just like any other human. And sure, but one day, her true identity was exposed.
So far, so good. A classic tale. What happened after that?
That's one of the issues we've been trying to deal with. Unfortunately, this was as far as the director got with her script. We need a proper ending so we can bring this musical to the stage. But people have different opinions on which direction to take it in.
We still haven't decided between a happy ending or a true-to-life tragedy.
By true to life, you mean the director's sudden disappearance?
Yeah, but then there's the question of whether we really want to use the stage to pass our raw pain onto the audience.
Exactly. A lot of the time, people come to watch a show just hoping for some light entertainment. And one last thing. The first is Paulo, who plays the protagonist's lover. The other is Villemont, who plays the main antagonist. He took the director's death pretty hard. He did write to us, promising that he'll be there for the final performance, but we haven't seen or heard from him since.
Although, now that we have Miss Farina helping...
What opportunity?
Maybe you're unaware, but your name has always been like a rallying cry for us.
Our director was constantly singing your praises.
Oh, stop! You're making me all flustered. Although, not in a bad way. I suspect the reason they're dragging their feet is that they have their doubts about whether the show will really go ahead, considering all the issues you've been facing. but one by one.
Makes sense. Okay, priority. He went back to Poisson a few days ago. Said that staying in a friend's home might help him to relax and escape the feeling of isolation.
I thought the last thing his friend would want right.
Yeah, maybe he could use some...
Poisson. Nothing. I suppose my presence will be... So, allons-y. To Poisson!
That wasn't even where I wanted to go. Sorry. Oh. Well, that's over with. Sorry about that.
Useless.
If I remember correctly, this is where he's staying.
Who is it?
It's me. Is the script ready?
You came all the way here.
All right.
Nice try.
Okay then.
So, as expected, he's missed.
The ending is one of the most important, even once he's done. It isn't final until we...
Someone told me they'd just seen you in Poisson. I assumed it was a case of mistaken identity, but...
I was wondering...
So, you're here for Paolo? Looks like he could be a while, so...
Oh, it's okay. We can just wait here.
Thank you for being so considerate, Miss Navia. That sounds wonderful. Get over here, you!
How are things in Poisson now?
Things are on the mend, but it's a slow process. Some people...
I'm sorry to hear that.
Please, must our conversations take such a depressing turn every time we meet? We all have... And if you're trying to make a new start, perhaps it's best if you don't bring up the past all the time.
Thank you for your words of comfort. You make a very good point. But for now, at least, I think I should stay with the way I'm feeling for a while longer.
It's okay. These things take time. Moving on from a painful experience is easier said than done. Which brings me to why I'm here. I thought you should probably know that not everyone here is ready to forgive and forget after the Hydro Archon's inaction in the face of catastrophe. To avoid upsetting the peace, I told the townspeople that everyone here is a member of the theater troupe, and that you are just an actress playing the role of Farina. It's not a perfect solution, but hopefully it means you won't have to lie low while you're here.
That's so thoughtful of you.
Well, what do you expect? I am the courageous and considerate president of Spina di Rosula, after all. Like my father before me. Anyway, that was all. Look after her now.
Off we go then. Let's take a look. I don't have any friends that I can be frank and honest with. So maybe she's right. You're the closest thing to friends that I have. I'm so grateful that Miss Navia was so understanding. To be perfectly honest, I didn't know if I was ready to meet her. It's always easiest to just run away from your problems.
So that's why you were nervous?
Yeah. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared of coming back here. Still, I felt it was something I had to do. As I was saying, I'd be overjoyed if the people... Yeah, I can tell people are watching me. I'm sure some people here see the idea of someone coming to Poisson dressed as the Hydro Archon as extremely disrespectful. I used to be terrified of the gaze of other people.
I'm not surprised you're making yourself go through all of this.
I can't let myself see only the things I want to see. How would that make me any different from before?
Look! There seems to be a crowd gathering over there.
Probably time we made a move. How about we check out Spina di Rasula's ship? I'm sorry. You probably just wanted a relaxing stroll. And here...
We don't mind.
Great. Well, I appreciate your company, so please don't disappear just yet. I don't know whether you can tell, but the years of suffering and loneliness aren't the only reason I have a hard time facing up to who I used to be. As I stand here by the ship, I can't get the images of the rising water out of my mind. One after another, people were taken by the water. All those treasured lives and memories. They thought their god would protect them. They had absolute faith that when disaster struck, a divine power would save them from harm. And all the while, I played my part to perfection to convince them that was true. But then the floodwaters finally came, and the Hydro Archon did nothing.
You shouldn't look at it like that. You were only doing your duty.
I've had to go through so many moments like that for the sake of protecting the truth. As time went on, it got harder and harder to bear, and I became more lonely and isolated. Eventually, I realized I had nothing left except the truth. I became terrified of completely failing in my task, and was haunted by the thought of being left all alone, weeping on my throne. Fortunately, we were able to avoid the worst-case scenario thanks to the help of heroic individuals such as yourselves. Everyone rose to their responsibilities, and I finally regained my freedom. But on some level, freedom also means no longer being needed. I have no further use to people.
Paimon would have never imagined you'd see...
A reward? I guess so. Back then, I didn't even dare to dream about having someone to confide in. I was scared of someone recognizing me for who I truly was, and exposing a secret I swore to protect. Believe in the Farina you see on stage. She is the one you can trust. I had to keep all my feelings, all my curiosity about life to myself. That's what I really meant when I said I'm no good at maintaining relationships.
So that's where you were coming from. Paimon totally thought you were just a bit of a diva at heart.
Could you please get off my case? I don't know what's gotten into you today. I'm making an effort here. You could at least try to do the same. I do. I once had nothing but the truth, and now I'm finally free to live my own life again. And even though I have no idea where I'm going right now, at least the choice is in my hands. All right, it's about time to head back. Paulo should have finished the ending by now.
Sure. Okay, let's head...
Didn't you say you needed to watch?
Come on. Anyway,
Are you kidding me right now? It's not your character's health I'm worried about. I've spent my whole life battling the effects of ill health, and it kills me to watch.
Oh no, looks like they're arguing. We're back! Could you maybe put your differences aside?
You're back. We've been enjoying Spina di Rosula's VIP treatment in your stead. Paulo's nearly done.
Great! So you were discussing.
Me? I'm an Oceanid too.
He was originally supposed to take the form of a crane, but he outgrew that role.
The boar's not a bad character, actually. He's the one who raises the little Oceanid, yes?
That's right. He has some pretty memorable lines too. Like when he imparts some solemn words of, if you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one.
Wait, that sounds kind of.
It's the most important line in the whole script. She kept quiet about all the it was only after she was gone.
You mentioned earlier that the troupe is like your home.
Yeah. I spent some years taking whatever. It was like that until the director found me one day. She took me under her wing, taught me to both sing and act, helped me find Mora for my meds, took care of me when my condition decided to flare up.
She sounds like a really incredible.
She really was. She gave. I was a lost child too when she found me. As the child of a murderer, my parents weren't around when I was little. The other kids were always picking fights with me. One day,
Let me...
yeah,
The day you hoped would never come.
Oh, you're finally done? Get your butt over here. There's...
Farina? The Farina? Oh my...
Please, the...
Same here!
Even so, this is just... Oh, wow. I'm sorry. I'll try to calm down. Ah, yes, the script, of course. Let me give you a rundown of how the story unfolds. I'm sure you're already familiar with the beginning. She finds love and friendship in the bustling city. The people start to notice that the little Oceanid, Cleo, and her lover decide to do something about it. In the end, they discover that all the waste and pollution...
Consciousness? You mean the water is sentient?
Water as a conscience.
Since the little Oceanid is a water spirit, her lover accepts her for who she is. The little Oceanid is accused of...
And then?
In the end, she may...
Huh? But didn't they all treat.
Well, she mainly...
Through her love for her human partner.
There's actually something else that bothers me. You know the protagonist is supposed to represent the director, right? And she never had the chance to become a hero in our world. If we're serious about... What about if... the little Oceanid is hounded to death by people who hate her, her lover makes sure her secret never gets out, and humanity continues down the path to extinction?
That sounds like too cruel of an ending to me. And perhaps a little irresponsible to present to the audience.
That ending would be a perfect mirror to Director Aureli's death. On the day when she went missing, Director Aureli had instructed us all, somewhat out of the blue, to leave. We waited and waited at the rendezvous point. We looked for her. The Gardamex looked...
The director was the...
But it wasn't the way she suddenly told
I've been trying...
Vilma? The one who...
Yeah.
Grief? Because... Well,
What?
it's time to be upfront with you all. I did tell her how I felt once. She said that we were all like brothers and sisters to her. Not that it came as a... I said, maybe one day in the future... Well, maybe then, and now... That day will never come. So if I'm the one...
In that we've all had our differences of opinion.
Well, if that's where we're at.
Are you ready to face the truth?
Honestly, I'm Funny you should ask, though.
I certainly do. Come on, everyone. Allons-y!
This is tough going. Delphi, are you sure you can manage in your condition?
I could ask you the same question. Try to keep up.
As if wasn't tough enough already without a roadblock.
Don't worry. We should all be fine with the Traveler here. We don't need to take a detour. Wait, why are you...
We're just curious, that's all.
Yeah, but don't you remember why? The Hydro Archon willingly gave up all her power so it could be converted into indemnitium.
Precisely! As much as it pains me, unfortunately, I should just...
That sounded so smug. Ugh, secondhand embarrassment is unbearable.
C'est la vie, indeed. Alas, I am forced to watch on helplessly as a more brave and seasoned adventurer than I swoops in to save the day.
Aw, too bad. I was so pumped to feast my eyes on fight mode Farina.
Sorry to leave all the heavy lifting to you.
Don't worry,
Stabilize! This is order!
Useless!
Fallen leaves, adorn my night! Wind strike!
Solidify!
Evil conquering! Worthless! Here!
Gather! Order guide you!
Bravo! Good show! You certainly live up to your reputation.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, the path is cleared now, so onwards and upwards.
Vilma, are you there?
Huh? Oh, it's you guys. Wait, what's the...
I can explain. We've been rounding up...
So, you think... If I open this can of worms now...
Viamant, avoiding the truth will not... Unless you mean to suggest that Aurelie's death had something to do with you.
I don't want to talk about it.
Listen, Viamant. I used to think that my love for Aurelie was a point of shame. But now, the little Oceanid cannot be complete unless...
This is why... As you all know already, the troupe was kept afloat not from ticket sales, but donations from the audience. We took on side jobs. So, anyway, one day after, it seemed like a win-win. The drink in question was...
Isn't that the drink peddled by the culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
I freaked out when I saw the boxes. And I told... But she didn't reprimand me for making the decision without consult. The merchant was... I was going to sort it on my own, but things only got worse. I admit this whole thing was my mistake. I didn't dare to tell any of you the truth back then. And after the... Yeah, I got Aurelie...
Hey, don't...
You traitor! What do you mean? You were afraid? This was a life in... How could you be...
Please, try not to get too worked.
Yeah, listen to him!
Stay calm, and he has the gall to try and high-road us, claiming that he kept his mouth shut for this...
All I can say is I'm just a coward who made an awful, terrible mistake that I can never take back in my life.
Get out of my sight!
That's enough! You've screamed and shouted at each other for... Can you stop conflating the show on stage with your real-life relationships in the troupe? You keep saying that you want to use this final performance...
I'm sorry.
On stage, the lead role is the focal point of the audience's attention. And you're all used to seeing the director as the heart of the troupe. But in her own life, her greatest desire wasn't to be the center of attention. What she wanted was to build... I understand why...
Yeah.
So think hard about what that means. If you really hate each other and can't reconcile your differences, then you could just call it quits now. But you can't bring yourself to... What are you laughing at?
Sorry, I didn't mean it that way. It's just that... For a moment there, It felt like our director was back. If she'd seen Paulo and Vilmont at each other's throats like that, she would have scolded them exactly like you did.
Really? But she sounded like such a...
Of course she was. Even her harshest lectures came from a place of kindness, and it showed.
I'm truly sorry.
It's all right.
So,
Clearly, everyone needs to take a step back for now and reflect on what really matters. The end of the story needs to focus...
What do you mean?
The Traveler is right. You once investigated that underwater synth base and recovered items belonging to the victims. If you could find anything that O'Reilly left behind...
You really think that's possible?
I trust that nobody would object to the end...
No.
Well, we'll leave this...
Come, let's pay a visit to the Palais Mermonia.
You want to review still, since you were the ones...
So, this is all O'Reilly left behind. Just whatever she was carrying on her person, and...
Hey! It's full of script lines!
Let me take a look. Maybe they're... Aha! I found something. Looks like she kept a detailed record of her captor's actions. If we'd had the chance to examine this notebook...
Lachey took so many lives.
I guess O'Reilly must have written all of this down. Wait. It cuts off. Her handwriting here gets patchier and more illegible by the line. Her final words are... I'll let you read them for...
She was so terrified.
She may have been a mighty hero in the eyes of her true... I can't bear to think how painful and... wait. If you become...
Isn't that the most important line?
Because I am an older...
Oh.
So she didn't regret her decision. I'm sure this is what the troupe would have hoped. She had their utmost trust. Let's go.
Useless. Boring.
She deserves a...
Even in the last
She did her best. We know what choice her lip.
I will channel all my regret, and I won't ask for your forgiveness.
Then it's...
Really? How can you be so sure when you've never...
Don't underestimate my experience. After watching a countless number of musicals, I've learned one important thing. If you want to move the audience and aren't, I don't believe anybody could be more committed to bring.
Thank you for the vote of.
Then, let's...
Actually, before that, I'd like during the curtain call.
Huh? But that...
After all, besides.
Well...
All right, I'll leave you.
Procure a stage?
Oh, it's okay. Are you...
That place? Oh, don't be silly.
Whoa, wait, what?
No. That's never going to work. It's far too fan.
What are you afraid of? Surely you...
No,
It is supposed to be your grand finale.
I'll take your silence as a yes. Thank you for giving us this opportunity.
Well, then don't disappoint me. If you mess this up, come on. We'll need to get the go-ahead from Nervilette. Hey, look at that. Looks like I guessed right.
You were just guessing?
I knew you'd be here.
I'm here merely for a short break. It has been a while, Miss Farina. And you too, Traveler in Paimon. What might I assist you with?
I would like to book the Opera Epiclese for an event.
I understand. The process for booking the Opera Epiclese is complex and can be somewhat cumbersome. But given that the request is coming from the three of you, I see the story of the little Oceanid is most fascinating. I'm looking forward to seeing it performed on stage. I will say, however, that I am surprised to see your passion for the performing arts rekindled after all that has happened.
Huh? What do you mean? Do I look...
Yes. And this is the first time that I've seen you like this since your departure from deityhood.
At first, I just felt bad about rejecting them. In the past, we sat in our high chairs in the court. Maybe it's because I finally become an ordinary person and gained my freedom. But I've developed a great sense of curiosity.
I am truly delighted to see you find a new lease on life. Now that you've regained some confidence, have you had any thought?
Why...
Well, if the Little Oceanid turns out to be a great success, it will no doubt become a classic. Many theater companies are certain to add it to their repertoire. The experiences and decisions of the protagonist, Cleo, are all modeled after your own. It would truly be a shame if you did not take this opportunity to allow audiences to enjoy your outstanding...
Haven't I already made myself clear? I won't act or perform in any role, nor do I think it is any great shame. This experience is a case in point. I feel like I've learned a lot. I must admit, though, I'm a little envious. They're quite fortunate to be able to bid farewell to their past and...
I see. Well, I'm glad to learn that you have found a role to play that you enjoy. I sincerely hope the show will serve as the grandest of finales. I will have my staff book the date and mail the...
Thanks, Nervalette.
You are very welcome.
Here!
Good news, everyone. Thanks to my eloquent and impassioned speech, we've had to fight a touching story. Now, let's work.
This is truly.
The sooner we can finalize the ending, the more time we'll have. Fiamma and I just went over some parts of the script and tweaked a few things.
Wow, you two.
Communication is vital to any good performance.
It's amazing.
Please feel free to give us any comments or...
Hey, Loic, get over here.
That cursed Cleo. She stole the waters of life from us. She's a fraud, and she must pay for her crimes.
This has nothing to do with her.
This guy could be...
Leave this place, oh little Ocean.
Everyone's really throwing themselves.
What should we do? It's a...
Why?
Hey, what's going on? Oh no.
They've been getting less and less effective over time. I've had to keep increasing my dose.
What?
I figured...
How could you do this to yourself?
I'm sorry.
You...
Miss Farina?
Say no more. If you're sick, you need to rest. Loic, your character has no more scenes, correct?
Oh, yeah. I think...
Please take Delphi back to her place to rest. From the sublime to the ridiculous.
Thank you, Miss Farina. I'm so sorry to put you in this position.
Never mind. What's done is done. It's no one likes regrets. Leave it to me. I've watched you rehearse so many times.
I do not doubt your acting skill. What, in your opinion, is...
It's her pure heart, despite all the pain and...
Well said. I leave director...
Oh boy.
Is she here yet?
Let's get here!
She's not coming!
You're wrong. She's here.
Si je pouvais vivre dans l'eau, le monde serait-il plus beau? Me pardonneras-tu, ô chère mère? L'eau dans son courant fait danser nos vies, et la cité elle est nourrie, ainsi que toi, mon doux amour.
But what about your wish?
My... wish...
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Le grand amour ne suffit pas, seul un adieu fleurira. C'est notre histoire de vie, douce et amère. Moi, je suis, serai toujours là, à voir le monde et sa beauté.
Is it just me? Or was that Lady Farina on the stage?
She hasn't been seen for a while. Gotta say, though, her acting skills are as superb as ever.
The little Oceanid, Cleo, played by Aurélie Fumont.
Wait, that's not her name.
I don't know. Maybe it's just a...
I've spent a lot of time out of the spot. It's too bad that I had to break the one clear rule I'd managed. Still, it felt good.
Finally, we would like to give a special thanks to our artistic consultant and event coordinator, Miss Farina.
Hey, that's not what we agreed on.
Oh, so it was Farina. She's back.
Honestly...
All right, calm down. Don't be mad. After all, it's been the rule in Fontaine since ancient times that everyone's work, visible or invisible, is equally deserving of
Yes, I know the rule, but...
It's no big deal.
Oh, yeah? Well,
this is a great chat. Paimon flew over to where she was supposed to be and was about to drop the prop vision, and then suddenly, a real one...
Oh, that... I've got no idea what happened there either. I'll bet the audience has never seen...
Wait, what about Dolphy? I wonder how...
Let's go check on her as soon as we finish clearing.
Yes. Plus, if nothing else, we can safely say that we accomplished what we set out to do.
Ah, you're back. She's doing okay. Her condition stabilized after taking some of her...
How did the performance...
You'll be glad to know...
That's wonderful. I'm so sorry.
Don't worry, even though you couldn't...
Well, what? I've had bad luck.
Blaming your bad luck again.
Oh, don't you start.
Aw, you two...
I don't...
You mean we never stop...
So, any plans for the... After the brilliant performance, you could capitalize on the rave reviews and license out the little O's...
No, we should still disband.
Yeah, it's what we all agree...
After all that's happened, I should give you guys some space.
Hey, don't just walk off!
I still want to keep performing, so I might join another troupe after watching Miss Farina's performance.
You should do it.
Oh, so now you finally got your priorities. And what about you, Miss Farina?
Well, frankly, you rather sealed my fate there with your special thanks at the end.
Sorry.
It's quite all right. No need to apologize. Maybe Nervilette was right. Maybe Cleo is the right role for me. I still don't wish to pretend to be someone else. Yeah, there was once a time, but from now on, I want to spend my time I want to watch them blossom. I'm sure this is what captivated direct.
Sounds like you're ready to stop running from your true... The more you get out into the world, the more you'll...
Then it's a deal. If a vision is a gift from the god, then I should do my best.
That was short, but